Hello everyone, CJ here. I promised to do a series of quick reviews for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons subclasses, and this is it. For this video series, I'm just going to cover the officially published wizard subclasses. The unearthed arcana materials are in constant flux and are most likely going to be revamped on release anyway, so I don't think it's worth covering in much detail until Wizard has released something official. Since the release of the Player's Handbook, we haven't got many new wizard subclasses. In fact, we've only got two. One is the War Magic Tradition from the Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and the other is the Bladesinger from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. In my opinion, the War Magician is not tremendously unique. The subclass features are designed to make the wizard more effective in battle. They are all combat defense oriented, which is not a big loss for the wizard since they can learn a lot of utility spell to cover for the party's social and exploration needs anyway. They have the Arcane Deflection feature, and they can use that reaction to gain bonus to their armor class or saving throw when attacked or targeted by spells or effect. Then, at higher level, they can even use their deflection to damage multiple enemies without having to roll anything. This is pretty cool, but due to the wording of the feature, I can imagine that some wizard players are going to use the loophole to actually start punching themselves to activate the Arcane Deflection feature to auto-damage enemies. One hit point for guaranteed hits that's more powerful than Magic Missile is usually worth it. The main drawback of this feature, however, is that after using it, the wizard can only cast cantrip on the following turn. But it is still a pretty good trick if you don't want to waste any spell slots. They also get the Power Surge feature, which lets them store surge points when they successfully end a spell with Dispel Magic or Counterspell. They can then use these points to heap extra damage to a target they are dealing damage to. The War Magician have more features than this, of course, but those are the distinct ones. It practically encourages the wizard to be bolder in combat, giving them the incentive to get closer to the melee, or at least within counterspell range to enemy casters. If you want to play a no-nonsense battle wizard, this might be a good choice for you, because with this subclass, you get what's written: War Magic, Magic for War. Okay, now let's move on to the other subclass. The Bladesinger subclass can be found in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. It is also combat-oriented and turns the wizard into a quasi-martial class. It drastically changes the way the wizard is played, and it is restricted to elves. Of course, the Dungeon Master can lift that restriction, but thematically, it's meant to represent the elven tradition of blending martial arts with magic into a deadly discipline. Bladesingers can activate their Blade Song twice before short or long rest. Unless they're in dungeons that's densely packed with monsters, they can usually activate it every fight. When their Blade Song is activated, they get various defensive bonuses and temporary features. The tradition also gives them proficiency in light armor and a one-handed melee weapon. But since the effect of Blade Song would stop when they hold their weapon with two hands, it virtually capped their weapon damage dice to D8. But two-weapon fighting doesn't break this rule, so you may be able to eke out more damage by dual wielding. Or if you prefer the hit and run style, then you can choose to be proficient in the whip and capitalize on its reach property to hit enemy from 10 feet away. At higher levels, they get to attack twice and can add their intelligence modifier to their attacks. The martial features are pretty good, but still not on par with fighters, unless the Bladesinger use spells like haste or magic weapon to boost themselves. By now, I know what a lot of you would be thinking. Is it a good idea to put a wizard in the front line with a measly amount of hit points? Well, it's never a good idea to do that. They are not defenders. But there are tons of spells that can help them mitigate damage, and at hard level, they get a Bladesinger feature that lets them reduce the damage they take using their spell slot. However, they have to use their reaction to activate that feature. Essentially, they can only use it once per round, so it's pretty much like the rogue's uncanny dodge, except that you use spell slot and you may be able to mitigate more damage. So the thing about Bladesingers is that they have lots of tricks and wizard spells that can help them survive. But if they make one wrong step, they may be punished dearly for it. For some players, this sort of high-stake playstyle can be fun, but of course, others can just pick the Bladesinger purely for the defensive feature to help their wizard survive battles and maintain concentration. Unlike Barbarian's Rage, Bladesingers are not required to make melee attack every turn to keep their Blade Song active. Even with their base features, wizards are great damage dealers, and the longer they can survive, the more damage they can deal. So the defensive features of this subclass on their own may be good enough to justify picking it as a subclass. Alright, that's it for the Wizard subclass quick review. If you are new here, please subscribe and press the bell button so that you'll be notified when new videos like this are published. If you like Dungeons & Dragons, check out other videos in the channel. There might be something else that you like. CJ, over and out.